And hey, speaking of potential stories to talk about, we got two teams that have a story they want to continue to write here in round 2, because we got ourselves our next matchup here, Neptune. I think with the producer is gonna take some time to load up what that matchup will be. We got Pixel Per Ink, which I believe is a team I definitely recognize from previous lowings. I think I might have seen them in Bravo Alpha, but I'm gonna have to double check my facts on that. Versus Octo-Express making their appearance here. Both teams, I believe, have won their first set, so the winner of this one going to advance to 2-0. Obviously, going to continue their start of Low Ink very well. Excuse me. So Neptune, this has a lot of interesting angles we can take.
Yeah, a lot of different angles and interesting angles that we can take here as well. And just looking at the team rosters as well, I think one player that stands out to me is Shinigami? Shinigami. Thank you. Okay. Because I believe they're normally playing Ink Brush players, and as someone who has a TCS fanboy, fortunately or unfortunately, I love you, Kraken, moi. Just seeing an ink brush on the screen always brings into the game just, okay, this is something that can wildly swing the game or wildly just destroy a game. It's a very versatile weapon, even though it has some of the shortest range numbers in the entire game, and that's because of its mobility. And I believe we're going to be starting off with Clan Blitz here as well, Keon.
I think Clan Blitz would probably be the most logical progression here with the way we get the maps rolled, and surely enough it will be the Museum de Alfonsino Clan Blitz. I'm going to take a quick aside here because I think we have a lot we can talk about with the Museum Clan Blitz. I had to remember where Octo-Express was from, and I'm glad I remembered. This is the team that finished second in the August 2025 Low Ink, and I remember seeing this team because I was there because I was very focused about the discussion of LD Forgers Good, which is the team that won that particular Low Ink edition. Here. And Octo-Express just falling a bit short of the goal line. This is a great chance for them to make the run back up in Alpha brackets, possibly to win the entire thing, but they got to do it again after basically a 2-month break or after Low Ink reboots again 2 months later. So it's a great chance for them to strike. And Pixel Per Ink, I was wondering where I recognize the team. It's the same deal. They showed up in the August Low Ink as well as an Alpha bracket finisher too. So 2 Alpha bracket teams from the August edition of Low Ink. And the reason why I'm talking about the August edition of Low Ink, September was Super Jump. So to my knowledge, there was no Low Ink in September. So both teams trying to pick up where they left off in August, and that is hoping to get the Alpha bracket run. And I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. But with Museum Clan Blitz being the lead off here, it's going to be a testament. It's going to be a test of which team has their best teamwork in this Saturday.
For sure, and as you mentioned before, just like both these teams are Alpha bracket contenders here, so it's going to be a little bit more of an intense set here as well. Obviously, just we had Octo-Express being able to punch their ticket a little bit higher here, but that Alpha bracket's still Alpha bracket. We wear that with a badge of honor at the end of the day. That I survived Low Ink Day 2 and made Alpha bracket. Oh man, that's a name tag we should print out here. Giving ideas out here for IPL as well, but you know what? We're just talking about more of these players here as well. I think another one that I think stands out is Jodek. I am terrible at these names right here as well, because I think they play Carbon Roller as well. Yes. Okay, they have a Carbon Roller. Okay, so it's gonna be a Carbon Roller versus Brush matchup right here. And 9 times out of 10, speaking with other Ink Brush players, that's not the thing they want to see, because they essentially have something that can just basically insta kill them if they're anywhere near the sneezing distance of the Ink Brush. But there is definitely going to be a dynamic where you have these rats running around on Museum, and who's going to be able to have their rat come out on top? It's like a what was it, like a school race or fair race or something. I feel like we're betting on which rat's going to be able to perform better.
You know, I that's a fantastic analogy, and you know what, I'm having to mull on that analogy a little bit more the more I start thinking hard about it. And it's exactly to your point. I'm gonna be curious to see how the brush and what was the other weapon I think you just said as my memory
Carbon Roller.
Carbon Roller, there we go. Yeah, which one is going to be the one to strike out on top? And I think that's gonna be a fun angle if both teams were to dish this one out here against Pixel Per Ink and Octo-Express. Again, it looks like we are still taking our time loading in. I got more factoids, by the way, for you, Neptune. That is potentially outdated, but still somewhat relevant. They have played off in the same alpha bracket game in August 2025 edition of Loink. It was the losers bracket round 2, where it was effectively a 2-1 against Pixel, where Octo-Express got the dub 2-1 because, of course, Octo-Express finished second at the very end from the lower brackets. So, assuming that 2 months have passed and the history still holds relevancy, this is gonna be a fun matchup to see in round 2 of day 1 for this particular month. Again, 2 months have passed, so not everything's gonna be the same in that way. And it looks like we bought ourselves a lot of time here. Let's get right into this one. It's gonna be Pixel Brink, I believe, will be on the alpha side. Bravo's side is Octo-Express. We take a look at the weapons. It is neither of the weapons we have listed. In fact, it's a whole different set of weapons here. But I'm not at all shocked that the Dreadringers made an appearance, to say the least.
Yeah, Dreadringer is a classic glowing staple weapon. I joke with my friends here, but it's for a good reason. Lots of paint, lots of AoE as well. But hey, you know what? It's not as fast as this V-Bucket right here coming out already, slaying out a lot of members right here as well. And you can definitely see, like, even though the picks are happening on the side of Pixel for Ink right now, Octo-Express is doing a fantastic job just holding up their positions right here as well. But now it's going to be like the pressure is going to be put forward here, Keon, and how are they going to be able to respond here?
That's gonna be the ultimate question. Even in a game where with Clan Blitz, you are gonna be playing a little bit more of a neutral game. You gather the clans for that power clan coming up. It's gonna be where do you start your push and when is the right time to strike. Both teams are kind of just feeling each other out here so far. Manty's still trying to find a way to score further. They are going to get pushed back a little bit, but it's not at all surprising here, Neptune, to see this one be a little bit of a slow start, to say the least, because they are looking for that perfect time to strike. 2 down is going to give them a lot of room to work with. Potentially the 3 down might help. There's an impending reslide from Joda that could be used, and they are going to use it. Luke gets the trade onto Manty, and it's so far Pixel Brink slowly bleeding members here. Octo-Express might be looking to strike right now, Neptune.
Yeah, for sure. You have this bubble getting ready to try and set up here, getting that basket already open here. Now just set up this bubble here so you can have your other things swim through as well. But hey, it got responded to very according with that hammer coming out there from Robin on the wellspring there. Very good response, because that could have been on himself really quickly there. But getting on the pick right there, that is a huge pick right there. But the ball gets shut down right now. These teams are out here playing for keeps, Keon.
Yeah, each team playing for keeps as well. And actually, something that I just noticed is Albert picked up the 3-clan back at base, and I see what the idea was. If the push was successful, I was expecting the that power clan to be jumped in with the 60 points remaining, but it was cut short thanks to a great defensive pull from Octo-Express. 2 members going down though from Octo-Express will effectively mean Pixel Brink has a chance, but it was a power move that could have worked out, just not fully materializing. They do get another power clan spawn for their trouble, so they just got to be able to push forward. The problem right now is they lose 2. They don't have enough firepower left, but Robin does cash in on 1. Will they get the second one to go? I think this is going to be a heavy defensive setup here. 3 members guarding that power clan for dear life. It's just going to be the 80 points remaining, just the one and done push. But Neptune, they do at the very least cut the deficit in half. They're going to need a little bit more than just that.
You're definitely getting a little bit more after that. And you did. I love how you pick up on the part that they use their pity clan is there as well, because now they're gonna have to get a power the old-fashioned way, which pick up these claims as well. And you can definitely see there is a bit of a scramble here in mid with all this yellow ink here as well. Octo-Express is looking for a way to put on a little bit more pressure right here. Beautiful direct here coming out from yellow on the Luna Blaster. That's a little bit of a long shot right there, but you do manage to be able to get it, especially when they're underneath there. Playing to your weapon's strength and knowledge, and you can definitely see both these players are using their main weapons and finessing them to points where they're able to get these picks and do really impressive stuff here just from both sides.
Yeah, there's a lot of impressive work going on from both teams so far. And you got and right now both teams still looking to see if they can extend, they can push a little bit further. For Pixel Brink, just the chance to swipe lead. For Octo-Express, just being able to expand more on it. But again, just basically the score has just been power clans only, to say the least. There is the 2 members that have dropped, but they are trading 2 on the other side, so there's nothing going to materialize quite yet. If anything, it's going to be a slow approach here for Octo-Express. Initially, Pixel Brink does cut them down. We're down to the minute and 12 marker right now, and we are still waiting for that power clan to spawn in from Pixel Brink to at least get anything going. Neptune, this is still pretty slow so far. Albert is trying to pave the way, and they do follow up with 2 members that have dropped. That's gonna be the barrier open. That's gonna be the lead change, and Albert pops the Booyah Bomb to ensure pressure continuing on from Pixel Rank, and the timer's slowly ticking down right now. That is just gonna be Robin trying to stamp their way forward, but there is no other small clan in sight. Neptune, there were as much yapping as I did on that one. 45 seconds left to go. Pixel Rank gets the lead back.
Lead back indeed. That S-Blast put in work there. And just that was exactly why S-Blast is such a feared weapon right now. The ability to just one tap you or just two tap you and just close range or long range distance as well, and then extend off the Booyah Bomb as well is what allowed that push to be able to succeed and go on for as long to swap it in the first place here as well. Because now Octo-Express, they need to find a way to push through as well, and they definitely have a lot of the time on their hands here. 15 seconds here. They do have a bubble set up. They do see some strikes coming out, but how far can this decav go? Because you need to cut this bubble up as far up to here to get any value. But no, wait, is that someone in their spawn with a Booyah Bomb? Are they going to jump it in?
They're gonna be able to jump it in, and that's, I think, gonna be the game here for sure, because I think with the way that Power Clamp got tossed, there was not, the timer's gonna go way past the OT, and on top of it, they also had lead before the OT even started, so that was great from Pixel Rank, and that's gonna be game 1 to Pixel Rank in an excellent Clan Blitz game.
Yeah, for sure. Just a lot of steadfast as well as calm plays that just snowballed into big advantages that allowed Pixel Inc. to put the pressure on Octo-Express right there. There is a tale as old as time that says, okay, whoever pushes at the end and gets lead at the end is going to win Clan Blitz, because you have to fight through so much of the map right there, especially Museum, which is such a wide open and large map right there. It felt like the decav really needed to find a way forward, but they were just consistently denied by Pixel Inc. there, and that's what allowed the clam to be able to get jumped in and just finish out the game very cleanly on the end of Pixel Inc.
Little known Clan Blitz knowledge is that if you had the lead and you break the barrier before just before the clock hits zeros, and the clock does hit zeros, no OT will exist, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's a knowledge that actually that a dear friend of ours, Kraken, told me at one point too. So that's so, hey, Pixel Rank being very opportunistic, love to see that. And you know, there too, the jump being in was great from Pixel Rank, and Octo-Express down 1-0 in round 2. Mahi Mahi Zone's gonna be the second map coming up, and I think we kind of saw the back and forth kind of just play out the way we did. I think Zones is going to tell a very interesting story with how both teams play, especially if Jonix is going to run it back with the Dreadringer.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, it's something I want to talk about a bit of Zones here and like offer a bit of perspective here as well, because oftentimes Zone is often the one that's seen as the most competitively viable by top players as well, and being able to play it here obviously because it's a very beloved game mode. And the main reason for that, like talking to other top players as well, is mainly they don't have to worry about objective. In Clan Blitz, you have to worry about getting power clams. In Tower, you have to worry about the tower. In Rainmaker, you have to worry about the Rainmaker. Here, you just have to worry about map control, because, well, in theory, right, you need to hold zone and be able to hold it out to knock it out as well. What matters is the zone is static. You don't need to worry about the objective moving as much as necessarily like a Rainmaker or a tower, and that allows you to be able to express yourself in ways and play for areas of the map that you don't typically see as well. And it's just a lot more of a balanced game mode from hearing from them perspective here. But you know what? Well, let's see how they're able to perform here at the end of the day, Keon.
I think it's gonna be the big discourse for any player, especially low level and to top level, all the way up to top level. Is do we play a little bit more zone focus? And exactly your point, with the objective staying where it is, you have one less thing to worry about. And I'm curious how both teams play it out. It is exactly how I expected this to go here, though. It is a Dreadringer duel. Luke versus Jodek. The big story here from both players is who will get their Restyler to work the best, along with their main weapon, with that Dreadringer. But pretty much a very fascinating set of weapon changes from Octo-Express, because I believe the Custom Blaster is something I did not see in the previous matchup. They're heavy-headed also for the cooler option, so gonna be curious to see how that all materializes here. Neptune already minutes into the matchup. Yes, points are ticking down from Octo-Express. It's gonna be changed really quickly here with the wipeout into another delayed wipeout thanks to the stagger. This will bring once again striking big.
Pixelberg, indeed striking big here with a great opening right now, but hey, 2 down right now with the cooler out. This is a go time. And you definitely see both these teams marrying each other in a sense of 2 Dread Ringers on this map right here. If one thing's going to be certain, it's going to be a Reef Slider hitting that zone. Oh, that is very unfortunate disconnect right there as well. I think they're going to be resetting this one here as well, but wow, just let's talk about these comps here, Keon, shall we? Can you do this?
Yeah, by all means. What intrigues you with both teams?
Okay.
With the comps that you saw?
Okay. So I saw, I believe on Octo-Express's side, 2 sloshers. You had the Dreadringer and the V slosh as well. So you have one slosher that's more focused on painting and being more of a supportive one, while the other one can now focus more on fighting and playing off the chip damage of the other slosher as well. So essentially you have like this double AoE dynamic, or this dynamic duo, if you want to call it, of these 2 sloshers playing off each other. And then they add the custom blaster into the mix, so like, that's a lot of AoE, right? That's not something you typically get to see on a lot of comps as well, with 3 AoE weapons playing it out right there, and then you have your edit as a stabilizer of sorts with cooler. But yeah, that's going to be quite a comp indeed to be able to operate as well, because when there is a trade-off to using AoE, and that is usually your speed and how fast you're able to move up as well, because you kind of have your paint tied to a slow weapon in Dreadringer and a weapon in Edit that kind of needs to rev up as well. So that's what's kind of scratching my brain here, Keon.
Could this be that this is a zone-centric comp, if that makes sense? It's a map that's kind of built with the purpose of Mahi zones being the one?
Yeah, no, wait, I definitely could see that in mind, because there are a lot of ledges to watch on offense and defense here as well. But hey, looks like we're getting back into it. Same comps here. Let's rock and roll, Keon.
Yeah, and we'll see how far the AoE centric comp from Octo-Express plays out. And obviously, 40 seconds into the matchup, you get to see the momentum get to be pushed a little bit forward, but it looks like it will just be the restart here on both sides. And that Red Ringer immediately rushed in with the restart. Is going to get cut down. It wasn't even enough to flip zone. There wasn't enough support on the other side of the zone, and that's going to lead to Pixel Rank 65-point range. They're going to force the map to change here, but with 2 members already dropping, a possible stagger game being played through, it's going to be trouble here from Octo-Express. We do see the triple splashdown be available. They are going to look to slowly enforce them, pop it right away to see if they can force the zones to be neutralized. But Neptune, it doesn't neutralize at all, and Pixel Break with a much stronger start in Mahi zones.
Yeah, even stronger start here as well, just allowing them to be able to get through this zone. Already down 25 here. A wipeout does occur, and now you get to set up for it in lockout here as well. But I think this is an opportunity to set up your specials right here. They're obviously trying to find a way to put up pressure up as well here. Even though they're not an AoE weapon, that doesn't mean you can't still pressure under ledges and push up here as well. As you see Luke taking that top right, as well as the other members watching the left drop.
Yeah, a lot of things you have to keep an eye on. You got 2 specials already, trip strikes, and the restart already being used. Already the quick zone split. That it was an instant blink and you miss it, and that is the understatement I think I have said today. As already Pixel Break forces penalty points and is buying themselves some time to work with. Octo-Express just has that triple splash. I believe they also burned the cooler on top of it, so they are going to get some support. They are allowed to respond and play aggressively here. But so far, zones slowly being lost, but Octo-Express holding firm. They take out 2, and they force a delayed 3. It's just the wall string with that hammer, the only one alive, and I think they did have to pop it from earlier. This could be really good news from Octo-Express coming up here, Neptune.
For sure. I feel like the only way this can be denied is if the restart comes in. Come on,
there we go.
Oh my goodness, the league gets to stay for Pixel Parade, because I believe it got ties right here. If there's one thing Splatoon hates more than you're having fun, it's more about having tiebreakers, and this game will not allow that to happen, keeping Octo-Express having to push forward if they want to lead.
That was a crossing pattern from both Reef Sliders. Then the priority belonged to Pixel Brain. Jodak explodes theirs first before Luke had the chance to get the zone scout the other direction. Both had the same idea, and Pixel Brain holds firm in what could be a very important 1-point lead here as 2 members going down from Octo-Express. They do have a triple flash on that is available. It is being burned. They actually take out two other members, and it's going to buy themselves a lot of time. That's actually the wipeout. This could be great for Octo-Express as members slowly getting out of respawns here. They're about to to take down on these penalty points. Yellow and Quitter trying to put themselves in a position to pressure Pixel break, but they are playing a little bit more defensively around the zone. This is gonna be Octo-Express's time to shine if they want to take home game 2 here. Neptune, even though there is a flying freestyle that does not only forces neutral, but both Red Ringers have dropped, this could be huge fear from Octo-Express.
Oh my goodness, the Reef Slider forcing neutral, I think is... Am I watching fake gameplay right now? It feels like now it's gonna be Octo-Express getting Jason double here right now, punishing that play, not allowing the zone to flip. This is a very difficult situation to go. They have to go these last couple of ticks right now. You can see the slasher from this launcher not allowing the members to go through zone, and the game is gonna go to Octo-Express right there.
You know, the game of crossing patterns and burning Reef Sliders to get caps of zones was one thing. Pixel Print using the Reef Slider and only getting neutral instead of getting the zones caps is the other. By only getting neutral, they don't force penalty points to flip, and then they were starting to lose members left and right. It just happened near instantly and fell apart so quickly. And Octo-Express, I mean, I don't know if the AoE Centric Cut was the big thing, more or less the Reef Sliders being the main focus and their usage coming out on top, and it started to show at the very end. Octo-Express forcing the 1-1 tie. Of course, I know this is just set 2 of 6 here in day 1, but that was pretty exciting to watch out of Mahi Zone's Neptune.
Yeah, for sure, because, like, we've all seen it, you know, the Reef Slider hits the zone flips right here. The sky is blue, vanilla ice cream is tasty, right? Just a lot of basic stuff right there. So when I saw it go neutral, my eyes widened right there, and I'm, like, trying to think of, like, what happened right there. So I think there might have just been, like, a slight, like... positioning in the Reef Slider that caused it, as well as like the extra paint coming out from the other members just to ensure that Reef Slider would not cap there as well. And that's kind of comes down to a lot of Zone's gameplay as well, just to be able to pressure the Reef Slider to be forced out a bit early or not quite in the right spot that would cause an instant cap, and that's exactly what Octo-Express needed to be able to swap that lead out right there. And then they punished accordingly, and just being able to do that just allowed them to flourish and finesse that final end there.
I think we're gonna need to have a long talk with Reef Slider usage in Mahi zones, but at the end of the day, Octo-Express the one that comes out on top. And this could be a pretty important 2-1 finish for any team that comes up here. Again, both teams wanting to make the alpha bracket return here, as they were the ones that made it to alpha bracket in the last edition of Low Ink. So winner of this one will continue that run, and obviously each loss could potentially start mounting if things start to fall apart later in their respective sets. And Inkblot TC, a staple that exists as old as time, is gonna be the finisher. And to me, it's just like Hagglefish Zone. It's gonna be a game of fundamentals with tower control now being the main focus.
Oh my goodness, tower control Inkblot here. After seeing the NA League and how they handle their rules, I've seen the counter pick, or the tale as old as time. What's your counter pick option? It's tower control Inkblot right here. But today's special is you're not counter picking here. You're just playing it because it's on the map list right here, and you're playing it for the oh so crucial set win of a game 3 and a play all 3 here as well. So regardless, we were going to see this map mode here. It's just now we see it with the stakes on the line of who's going to win this set and potentially have another leg up when it comes down to finalizing the brackets in day 2.
Now, granted, Neptune, as much as we overemphasize how crucial this is, it is still set 2. But I think you can attest, and I would have to look back at your history here. When you hit the 2 loss marker, that's when your tiebreakers are going to start really mattering, and you don't want to have to deal with that margin of error if you're going to be a team that makes it back to alpha brackets. So ideally, if you get the dub, that will give you a lot of room to work with. Now, that being said, though, Neptune, 1 loss can still get you to alpha brackets, but you got to win the rest of the way here. So, and I think both teams will have to understand any win we can get will give us a lot of room to work with at the very by the end of it.
Yeah, for sure. And like diving a bit into my history here, I believe talking with some other players as well that are participating in tournaments like this, with you have 6 rounds of Swiss and you are kind of slowly batching up into other teams as well. I think the most crucial set of like setting yourself up to go to those higher brackets are set 3 and set 2. So you want to have that 3-0 and 2-0 to be able to just smoothly sail through the end there. Obviously, like, your sets will get harder as you continuously keep getting game wins, but at the end of the day, just having that security right there and that little bit of a cushion, I like to call it, a little bit of a safety cushion, or Yeah, I'm just gonna call it safety cushion, right? That's essentially what it is right there. You want to take those game wins slowly but surely and have a little bit of a safety net to be able to catch yourself in case those other sets just go wrong or you burn out initially or like you just don't have enough stamina, because that is what low ink tests, stamina. That is one of the biggest things that you learn from this tournament.
Day one especially, you got 18 maps you got to play, you got 6 sets you got to play there too, so both teams running into the basically a close matchup in set 2. I mean, you just have to know that this doesn't wear you thin by the end of it too. Again, I can, with especially with as many low inks as I've seen in the past here, Neptune, you start to get into the danger mark at around the 2 loss marker. You don't want to accrue that second loss at any point, and it's also not technically safe as well if you get the 2-0 and you suddenly drop 2 sets down the road. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. So any safety net does help at the end of it too, and I'm sure both teams understand that, especially with the way both teams have been playing out. And I love the back and forth, by the way, too, that we have seen, especially with both sets, honestly. Honestly. Sure. So this is good. So that's kind of, so I'm excited to see how both teams progress out of set 2. And wait to see how this plays out. Again, we are actually having to deal with some lobby shenanigans, to say the least. So bear with us. You'll have to hear us a little bit longer before we get to game. But Neptune, I think for both teams, I think they have to understand how important at least game 3 is in terms of that safety net that will help them down the road.
For sure, and I think it's I believe according to a little what was it? Producers working in the background here as well. We have Critter subbing in for Izumi on the side of Octo-Express right here.
Might be the other way around. Might be Izumi subbing for Critter.
My goodness.
Don't worry, you're good. You're there.
Here. Saying false information already here. We're only, I think, an hour into the cast right here. This is a great sign, but hey, you know what? I'm all here for the fun vibes. I think that's what matters. I just want to see some good Splatoon, and it seems like it's going to be more of a anchor role position that I'm going to be seeing here. I don't see any weapons listed out here in particular, but we do. I think it's going to be mostly the backline being swapped. So what can we see here at the end of the day, Peter Keogh? I'm thinking.
I'll let you think a little bit more. I think that's gonna be the big thing we're gonna keep keeping out. You don't need to think anymore, Neptune. We're here. Don't worry. I'm also so physically catching up to the current world here. Speaking of things that are more intriguing, it's less about the subs that I'm intrigued about. Yes, the sub Izumi brings in their E leader. It's also what Pixel Prank decided to also bring out, because I get to see the glitter. What is it? The glitter Zuli? Is that the official name?
Yeah.
The one with the bubble. Yeah, and then Jodek out of the Dreadringer dishes up the V splash as well. Luke also switching over to the V shot. So a lot of things have changed with the comps. What hasn't changed was how close both teams are. 3 down on Octo-Express, 2 down, make that the delay, 3 down on Pixel Prank, and it's already starting off. It is already starting off as fast as it did.
Yeah, for sure. The tower's gonna start with Twinkle's good. Yep. Definitely with the bubble in the Fizzy Bomb, it's going to be very crucial here as well, especially starting off with this first push, but having that crab tank getting shoved off here, leaving it the only one alive, is going to be a very dangerous position, because looking at Octo-Express's comp right here, I'm going to call this the UCSD effect right here. You have a roller, you have a charger right here, both weapons capable of one-shotting you if they're setting up correctly, so your attention's going to be massively split on dealing with roller, dealing with the charger, dealing with that charger, the roller's going to come in here as well. So now it's going to be a very difficult game for Pixel Inc. to be able to respond here as well, especially on tower, which I think is leader's best mode, because he's able to watch over the tower as well as contest the tower so easily. Izumi is going to be putting in the work here for this game, I think, and they're definitely going to be a member to watch out for the later half. But no, they're getting run down and flanked by an anti-beautiful wipeout right there. The Twinkle Dualies is going to shine through instead.
And that's the big thing too. I think it is exactly to your point that either could bring an interesting dynamic to this game. You noted to probably its best map, but right now they're gonna have to focus more on the defensive front right now, as they are gonna have Robin. Actually, Robin using that hammer to stamp their way forward. Yellow, I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to do there. I think you were trying to roll them over, but you also ran out of big along the way. The epitome of no man's land there from Yellow, and they find themselves in the wrong end of it, and it's gonna lead as well a second checkpoint clear here for Pixel Prank. Octo-Express is gonna be the one that has to play for the 2 checkpoint deficit, and Yellow's still trying to do their best with that roller, trying to see if they can find any value. It's gonna get shut down there for the well string, and all that being said and done, Pixel Prank strikes big here in Neptune with way 2 left.
for sure. Getting that fix on that roller is especially helpful as well, because that's one less one-shot threat you have to worry about. But 3 down here, going to expose your E-leader, going to allow Manti to be able to move up here, setting up this bubble, preventing the fix.
No!
Flush it right there. That is a dagger right here, going for this 3rd checkpoint right here, but the roller comes down from above, getting another one. But they need to stop this checkpoint right here. A wipeout just barely keeps Octo-Express in this game, practically needing to knock out here if they want to take it home here, Keon.
I mean, Yellow ran out of ink trying to roll somebody over from Pixel Prank, and then comes out with the clutchest moment they could have with 2 minutes left to go on the clock. And that could be a long 2 minutes that could be used to Octo-Express if they can pull this one off. That's gonna be the big thing there is here. As the trip trick's being used, they got 3 specials they can work with on top of it. Look for the bubble usage as well, along with the Zuka. If they can find value right away, Yellow plants that bubble in a very safe position here for Octo-Express to continue this push up forward. Izumi and Yellow, however, having to retreat. They are having to look for value, but they are getting shut down by Pixel Prank's defense. That's going to also lead to the 3 down, and Pixel Prank's defense holds once more. They don't make it to the 2nd checkpoint, and Pixel Prank are trying to run this to the finish line here. They got 2 specials they can work with to their advantage on this upcoming defense. Probably an upcoming offensive push they wanted here, Neptune.
For sure, converting a defense into offense, you love to see it here as well. And using that Booyah Bomb to get these that. Oh, Albert, what is going on here? Is this the powers you get when you play the S-Blast Keon?
Oh, probably.
Get a quad right there. Them just putting in this continuous pressure right here. It feels like Pixel Per Ink does not want to give any inches as well. They don't want to give any opportunity for this roller or this leader to set up here as well. And you can kind of notice it with how they're using their specials as well. They're always using it to diffuse the picks as well as extend plays after finding them as well. Luke managing to win this 1v1 is going to be pretty big here as well. Popping the Zuka right here, forcing Robin to jump out now. So now it's going to be, can we set up the roller and the leader in just the amount of time right here before Pixel Parade gets a special? That's the brutal question that's going to be happening, because you can boot sword or stuff with the bubble. It's just bubble is only one of these specials that can get you through.
Something you also have to pay attention to, Pixel Prank does have an S-Blast that is about a quarter of the way to building up that Booyah Bomb. That's something you have to keep an eye on. That might be a crucial time to shut that one down, because they're going to have to focus on it a little bit more. Pixel Prank goes 3 down. Nobody's there right in time to get, because it looks like the rest of Octo-Express are trying to get everybody else to jump in. I would look for that special to be used at this point in time. The S-Blast has to stay alive. I imagine they're going to be back in base looking to use it, because there is 30 points remaining. Still ticking down. There's that Booyah Bomb. Albert's going to use it, and this could be thrown into that general direction. That's the 2 members down. That's probably all they're going to need there, and that's exactly what we see. Pixel Prank shuts down 2 members of Octo-Express. Octo-Express doesn't have enough left in the tank, and that will be Pixel Prank 2-1 finish in a very fun set here in day 1, and they will improve to 2-0 to continue on their Swiss rounds.
Wow, okay. That was just really well played. Another checkmate here. We do love the chess analogies here today. Just consistently using your specials in a way that will just force the enemy into uncomfortable situations that can just end the game as you see fit right there. And here's the thing, Pixel Per Ink, because they were able to break through all those checkpoints as well, they had all the time for that S-Blast to just get the Booyah Bomb as well. Sure, they had opportunities to be able to, for the Octo-Express members to be able to push it and perhaps punish it as well, but when they have a lot of opportunities to, as well as a lot of time to allow that to happen, it was just too much of a mountain to climb there for Octo-Express, which is why Pixel Per Ink is going to take home the set 2-1. That said, the 2-1 is really what the box score really shows. It was a very fun 2-1 both ways. So that's gonna be hey, Pixel Prank improving to 2-0. Octo-Express down to the 1-1. Again, Octo-Express, they win out the rest of the sets. A very comfortable ticket. They can punch 4 alpha brackets, but they're gonna have to face four opponents along the way that will do just that.